Welcome to our second live lunch with Locker Talk. This is episode 31. I am your host, Koltyn. Physically by my side is my co-host, Matt. We have a great episode for you guys this week. We have our live show right now giving you our predictions for Survivor Series. We're going to watch Survivor Series, and then we're going to give you our live reaction show right after. So make sure you stay tuned for Survivor Series and for our second live Locker Talk of the day. It's kind of a huge day for everyone, I know. So today we are going to run through our predictions for Survivor Series. And also, Matt, as a special treat for some of you who have been clamoring for it out there, we will be going through our favorite... It's Steven.
It is.
We will be going through our favorite ladder matches that you maybe haven't seen. We also will be discussing who we think should be the face of the WWE, Randy Orton or John Cena. And as our Twitter account is updating our live stream in German for some reason, let's just go right into our predictions. So, Matt, I know you have the... Actually, no, we're not going to go into our live predictions. Let's give your thoughts on the show. We have a few. So our first one, as I'm scrolling down because we are so popular on Twitter, we have to wait a while to get to all these thoughts and predictions. I'm pretty sure I went past them. Yes, I did. Because we're at our NXT thoughts, so that's a little bit too behind. So our first one comes from our good friend at Kyle Bub. And his first thought is, did WWE forget to book half of this pay-per-view? What's the answer to that? Yes?
I feel like they did.
Yeah.
There was no booking at all, really.
Definitely did. I don't know what they're doing here. Next quote, next tweet from a regular here on Locker Talk, Farmer. And Farmer says, oh boy, these are a lot of things to get through. I did not prepare this very well. Here we go. Bold prediction. I actually do not think Roman Reigns leaves Survivor Series as champ. Charlotte is going to destroy Paige. Hashtag New Day Rocks. Looks like Dolph Ziggler officially has another chance to hashtag steal the show. Of course, it's Dolph Ziggler. And last... Actually, it's not last. I forgot. I'm really not prepared for this. Our next one, we asked you guys who you thought was going to be in the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. And our good friend Ted, and he's a legend. He is a legend. He is at Ted is Legend on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow. He is a real legend. And he has said, on one team, we will have Ryback, and Ryback against The Miz, and lastly, The Miz. So thank you, Ted, for that. Oh, viewer, look at that.
Got a viewer.
There we go. Thank you, viewer. Yeah. And I'm honestly, I'm kind of scared that Ted might be right on that prediction.
Yeah.
That's a likely scenario.
Gotta get pinned 5 times.
And officially, this time, last but certainly not least, our very good friend, Steven Sorrell. He has a great WWE website called letstalkwwe.com. Has wrote to us saying, I'm hoping it'll be a beautiful tribute to the greatest career in WWE history. Hashtag Undertaker 25. I'm concerned about the ISIS threat to Survivor Series the FBI is investigating. Let's hope and pray. We will discuss this.
I didn't even know about the ISIS threat until moments ago.
We just discussed this a little bit ago. Roman Reigns will probably need to lose to work up the angst. And imagine if Kevin Owens wins. If I were Wyatt, I'd go with Harper and Strowman. What will we see? Hope it's extraordinary and supernatural powers clash.
We lost the viewer.
Oh, Steven. And last but not least, can't Emma interfere in the Divas title match and gloat with the taste of Tennille dish over her foes? If you don't know, Steven is a huge fan of Emma, and Emma now has her own cooking, baking kind of show on YouTube. So if you like delicious food, go give that a watch. So Matt, you have the match card here.
I do.
Let's run. What do you got for the first match here?
The first match on this card is actually the 5-on-5. People will be announced later, so I guess we're gonna have to speculate heels and faces for this match.
Ryback, right?
I believe Ryback should be in it. Ryback, Usos.
So, yeah. So this is the face team. So let's go face team first. So, Usos. There's two.
Usos.
Ryback.
Probably maybe the Dudleys. Maybe.
They could be the Dudleys.
I feel like Neville.
I'm feeling like Neville and we really should have thought this out more before we went
Neville
live.
and Shane O'Mac, maybe. I don't know.
Shane O'Mac, old Shane McMahon.
I feel like Neville is definitely going to be in this match, and Kalisto might be in it too.
Yeah,
just because they want to push.
We predicted somebody was gonna. Like we had this figured out before.
Yeah, we did. We had it figured out moments ago. Well, we had the
Anywho,
heels team figured out.
The heel team, I feel we got a decent
New
shot.
Day.
So New Day is all three because New Day rocks. Looky there, 2 viewers. How you like me now?
Oh, tied a record.
Right?
We tied a record.
Right. So New Day, correct.
Yeah, New Day.
Bad News Barrett, and we
possibly
could Sheamus or the Miz. And I'm leaning more towards Miz just because I think they want to try to keep Sheamus out of the show before a potential cash in later in the night. We'll see if that happens. So
this match shouldn't be that great. We're not invested in it. We don't know who's in it.
It's disappointing, really, that they haven't announced yet who's going to be in this traditional Survivor Series match, and it's called Survivor Series for a reason.
It's tradition.
It's the tradition. It's the second or third longest reign, the longest showing WWE pay-per-view they ever had. And so I'd just like to take a break, and we'd like to thank our official sponsor for the show, Dr. Pepper. It makes the whole world taste better.
Product placement. And I hope that you all made food as well, so you can eat with us. It's Lunch with Log Talk. Or for a few of you, if you're joining us from over the pond, it's live lunch dinner with Locker Talk.
Lunch dinner, or if you're in Australia, you should be in bed because you're an idiot. It's like ungodly early hours there. But
moving on to
let's move on to the next match.
Next match. Okay.
Thank you, Steven.
It's Tyler Breeze versus Dolph Ziggler in what should be one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah, if this match can get some time, this could steal the show. We've talked about this before. Ziggler and Breeze are very similar people. They're both pretty blonde guys, and they're both great wrestlers. And so if they give them 10 minutes, they could put on a really great match. I think it'll be interesting. Another thing I feel like they have in common is they're not really two guys who win a whole lot of matches. They're guys who put on great matches and don't always get the W. So I feel like it might be a little bit difficult to pick a winner. I'm gonna go with Ziggler just because I feel like it's not yet Breeze's time. They might continue this feud, which I hope they do. They can have more great matches, but with Ziggler winning, I feel that kind of keeps him in his spot. If it might not be time for him to lose to Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze can take a loss. He's always done it, and so I just don't think it's time yet for him to usurp, as a nice word to use, Mr. Ziggler. What do you think? I'm gonna take a bite of this delicious sandwich.
It's really good.
Is it?
On this match, on the 1-year anniversary of the amazing would-be push for Dolph Ziggler in a Survivor Series Shawn Michaels-esque performance, I feel like Ziggler is going to pull out a great match, but Breeze is ultimately going to win, I feel, in some sort of a cheating fashion. It's not going to be a clean win. What's her face? Summer Rae is going to have some part in it somewhere in there. It's gonna be a good match until like the whole girl thing comes into the picture again, and obviously what you all know I hate about it. But Breeze is gonna show it off here. I feel like they're going to try to push Tyler Breeze to be a mid-card type superhero guy, like what they failed to do with Neville. But it should be a good match. I think Breeze pulls it out in the end. Ziggler with a good match. a match, but obviously rug gets pulled out from him again.
Oh my gosh, these sandwiches are amazing.
They're really good. I like them.
If you haven't done so yet, go to your local Walmart and go to your deli section and get one of these giant delicious subs. They're like $5 or $6. It's a much better value than Subway, as we did in our last live lunch talk. We have upgraded to a bigger, more hearty sandwich because we're men. And so, next match on the card that we want to talk about, what is it? Because I can't read your phone from here.
The next one is Paige versus Charlotte for the Divas Championship match.
Yeah, Matt, what do you that whole comment that Paige made about Reed Flair? People have discussed this. It's been a hot topic. What are your thoughts about it? I haven't heard your thoughts about this yet. What are you thinking on this? Was it okay? Was it not okay?
This whole thing reminds me, could be way off here, but personally reminds me back when they did a angle of Chris Jericho versus CM Punk, where Jericho kind of attacked Punk's personal past and his just like to stay clean and everything like that. I think Paige is doing that with Charlotte attacking the family. I don't know. I just don't buy into it. So her comments is the whole thing with the Total Divas, which I don't like. And I could be going way on a topic here. But we all know they're like best friends. So anything they say to each other, like they could cut deep on Raw. Doesn't matter because I know they're like best friends, so I don't buy into it. So to me, the comments were meh. Doesn't really matter to me so much. I feel like the match, however, is going to be really good because it's Paige and Charlotte going against each other. I'm not looking too forward of it because too forward for it. I'd much rather see a Sasha Banks or Becky Lynch in this match.
Or both.
Just replace it all together. Paige is old news to me, and Charlotte is a man, so she should be wrestling for the Intercontinental Championship.
That might not have been the most sensitive thing to say.
Well,
but on the subject,
she reminds me of China, so not in that way, but
so yeah, I haven't really. People were very vocal on Twitter about this, and I commented to our good friends RTM Wrestling. Go give them a follow. Go give them a watch. They have a great YouTube show. And people, have mixed feelings on this. If you're not sure, Paige made reference to the fact that Charlotte's older brother Reed did not have a lot of fight in him, and if you don't know, Reed died of a heroin overdose. And I just might be a black-hearted person, but I'm not really offended by this at all. Just the fact that it had to be okayed by Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And Reed is the reason that she did get into wrestling. And excuse me. Oh, that Dr. Pepper. Woo! Reed's the reason she got into wrestling. She wouldn't have been a wrestler if he wouldn't have passed away. And I applaud WWE for trying to make this matter, but I feel like they should have. I don't know if they should have done this, but they should have done something to try to make this matter way before now, the week before the show. And to me, like you said, with the whole Punk and Jericho thing, I don't think it's quite. It might not be as bad, but the whole Randy Orton, Rey Mysterio thing, when Orton says Eddie's not in heaven, Eddie's in hell, right after he died. The difference being that Eddie Guerrero was in the locker room and he was, known by all. And so that's a little different. But at the same time, Reed Flair was also on WWE because The Undertaker killed him to get to Ric Flair way before their WrestleMania match. Mm-hmm. But we'll get to Undertaker later because
there's a lot of rivalries like the Eddie Guerrero Mysterio for Dominic. Like there's a lot of personal rivalries.
Yeah, in history. And this is really, really personal. And yeah, maybe they shouldn't have done it, but at the same time, I don't think it's not like WWE is. I feel has definitely done a lot of worse things than this.
Definitely.
And so, but my whole point with it is it's gotten everybody talking about this feud, and whether or not they're talking about the actual match or they're just talking about what happened, they're still talking about it. And so that's what's important here.
That's the overlying goal.
Yeah. And so, like Matt said, this is going to be a good match. These two girls can go. So if they get the right amount of time, they're going to put on a great match. I think Charlotte retains here, and I don't know if their feud's going to end here, if it's going to keep going. Honestly, to me, it doesn't really. I mean, it does matter, but it doesn't really matter much who is in these Diva title matches, as long as it's that that group of Charlotte and Becky. And Becky, I said Becky twice.
Well, you did.
I meant
one after another.
I thought I said Sasha first, but I didn't. My apologies. Becky, Sasha, Paige, and Charlotte. Any of those four, it's going to be a great match. And so wherever, as long as it stays in that general ballpark, it's wow, I haven't done that one in a while.
Yeah, kind of either.
Yeah.
Well,
as long as they stay in those people, the matches should be great. So I'm not too worried. Once again, they need to work on developing like these real stories. They're making an attempt, and I applaud them for that. But I don't know if they everyone thought they went about this one the right way. So
I think Charlotte wins and retains, but I'd like to see a shock on this card. So I'd like to see Paige win. There's one not obvious choice on this card.
Definitely. Speaking of shock, it might be a terrible segue, but let's talk a little bit about that ISIS threat. So if you don't know, this online hacking group Anonymous has released some reports that the list of the potential attacks that this dumbass group ISIS has planned, and one of them is a big event on Sunday in Atlanta. And I don't believe they specify, but that is either Survivor Series or it is the Falcons-Colts game, which is going on right now. And so WWE has said, the event is still going on. They don't have any credible threats, but they're still taking this very seriously. And so what kind of stupid, dumbass terrorist group is going to attack a bunch of redneck wrestling fans who are going to be drunk and pissed off that Roman Reigns is going to win the title? Doesn't seem very smart to me. If anything, just put Brock Lesnar out at security, and I don't think that problem. You have any thoughts about this? I mean, it's kind of straightforward. I don't think I don't really think anything's going to happen, but
yeah, I don't think it. I mean, I don't know if ISIS would have targeted a wrestling crowd. You think they would be a football crowd, but obviously the game is probably about halfway through now, so nothing's gonna happen there. Knock on wood. Hopefully, nothing happens at Survivor Series either. We'll find out.
Yeah. And so, once again, let's just all try to treat each other nicer, huh? We all have our problems, and there's all this, kind of fighting and all this racial tension, especially where I've been. And so let's just try to be decent people here, and don't be assholes, because let's be honest, assholes are the problem in this world. I don't want to get on too much of a soapbox here, but yeah.
Too much of a rant.
Survivor Series next match. What do you got here?
The next match is, well, it hasn't been officially announced yet, but the match card that I pulled up is saying Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker and Kane in what I believe is traditional Survivor Series elimination.
No, just a tag match.
Just a tag match. Okay. Well, yeah, I think it's gonna be Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt. Either way, Braun Strowman is gonna be the new pushing person for the Wyatt family, and Bray Wyatt, because why wouldn't you have Bray Wyatt? It's his group. This match should be slow for a little bit. Undertaker's obviously going to get his shots in there. He's going to get his shine in there because it's 25-year anniversary. But to me, this is like the Divas match. It should be a decent match, but I'm not looking too forward of it because I don't believe Undertaker could beat Bray Wyatt or Braun Strowman. Definitely not Braun Strowman for that fact. But Kane, for his age, is still actually pretty mobile.
Yeah.
And he can do some shots. He can take some bumps. He can hit some bumps. He's doing well.
He can tear an ACL off a guy. That's
both.
Both.
ACL and MCL.
MCL.
He can do some damage, but I don't see Undertaker Kane losing so much this match because this is 25-year anniversary and it means something. But can Bray Wyatt withstand another loss in a row? Would this be that he's lost? I mean, the original feud with Undertaker, he lost. Roman Reigns, he lost.
Didn't he officially win the feud with Dean Ambrose? I think he won one more match than Ambrose won in that feud, I believe.
Who won the last match though?
I don't remember. It's a long time ago. Anyway, yeah. I agree. I think they've been building up this Undertaker week and the 25.
Oh, do you have a?
Yeah, we're fine now. I'll get it. They've been building up this 25-year Undertaker thing, and they've had Undertaker week all week on the network for a low monthly price of $9.99. WWE should really give us a month free for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I agree. I think Undertaker and Kane win this. Bray Wyatt cannot buy himself a win these days, it seems.
It's like Ziggler.
It's like Ziggler, sadly. I think the main point here is that if this was we don't know officially who is going to be from the Wyatt family in this match. I think if this was a real scenario, Bray Wyatt would not be in this match. Just because he is the leader, he would send out his pawns to face the Undertaker and Kane. But if they want a good show, you have to put Bray Wyatt out there. And you have to put Braun Strowman out there because, like you said, they're pushing him as this monster guy. Which stinks because I really like Luke Harper. He's one of my he's really underrated to me. I love watching me some Luke Harper. And heel kick Eric. I like him too. He hasn't been featured much, but I like him too.
Since he's come back, he really hasn't had any matches.
He just shows up out of the blue and they're like, oh, apparently he's back in the Wyatts now. But I think, wow, my voice just got really high. I think that if they want to shock people and have Bray Wyatt win, they could have him pin Kane, and that could be a thing. I don't the only reason Kane is in this is that so Undertaker can have technically an even amount, but Kane really hasn't done anything except for burn a sheep mask on SmackDown this week.
No, but the whole Brothers Destruction thing is good.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're bringing that back.
One last time.
And honestly, I wouldn't if Undertaker wants to have his last match at WrestleMania, I wouldn't be too terribly upset with a Kane versus Undertaker match.
That would be really good.
A last hurrah. Those guys obviously have great chemistry, and I think that they still would.
Are they really half brothers? I always thought they were half brothers.
No.
Kane's mother married Undertaker's father or something.
No.
No.
Sorry, kayfabe is dead children.
I always thought they were half brothers in real life.
No.
Okay.
No, nobody is actually brothers in wrestling, apparently. Except for maybe the Hardys.
And the Usos.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The Usos don't really look that much alike.
Well, they're related.
Unless you're Michael Cole, then
they're related for sure.
Yeah. But anywho. Yeah, so prediction here. Taker. What if Taker tombstone Braun Strowman? It's not
last ride in Braun Strowman. I think Undertaker would give out and just die right there. We haven't seen a last ride in a long time.
Yeah, and that's another point I just thought of. If they're not gonna, if it's going to be Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt, they don't seem to want to even put Braun Strowman on the ground. Period. So Wyatt is going to have to take the pin in this match, and so I think that might not be too good of a thing. I think maybe they will put Luke Harper in the match so he can take a pin if they're not pushing him as strong as they are. Mr. Braun Strowman, giant McHugh ass guy, whatever his name is.
He has a small face for his body. Once it's seen, it can never be unseen.
Right? I always see that meme online that the kind of chunky fellow from Game of Thrones. I don't watch the show,
I don't either.
And so it's like, oh, I'm gonna go take steroids and join the WWE, and they're like, what? And then they show Braun Strowman, and they look exactly alike, except Braun Strowman is a mountain, literally a mountain. In the Bible, when they talk about moving a mountain, they were just talking about moving Braun Strowman. That's an actual thing. That's in Scripture. Look it up. Please don't. I did I didn't mean to say that. Anywho, sorry. Next match before we get smitten down or smite down.
We're going to start our tournament talk once again. Joining us with this next match, Roman Reigns versus Alberto Del Rio.
Can you roll your R's?
Del Rio. No, I don't think so.
I can't at all. So yeah.
It's more of a Hispanic thing, I think.
That's racist, Matt.
They can, huh? Fez could do it on that 70 show.
Wait, I thought he was like Filipino.
They never actually say what.
Well, I like on the show,
well,
but where is Wilmer Valderrama from?
I don't know. I want to say the Venezuela or something.
I don't know.
He seems.
I'm gonna go get the charger. You talk about Reigns against Del Rio.
Del Rio. Okay.
And I'm gonna
Del Rio,
Wilmer Valderrama.
In my opinion, shouldn't even be in the tournament.
Yes.
As it is. He's new. I don't think he should have won the U.S. Championship the way he did. I don't even agree he should be in WWE. Listen, I know that guy, the worker, made a racist comment to him, and that's bad. Okay, fine. But don't attack the person for it. Just call me, say, hey, that wasn't cool. If you want, you can tell Vince McMahon, tell someone, I don't know, Road Dogg, he's fired. But
Billy Gunn's fired.
Billy Gunn, not Road Dogg. It's just a matter of time. So I don't know how Del Rio got in this situation. It's a really good push, U.S. title. Oh, can we talk for 1 second how the Mexican flag is extremely offensive for Americans? How they cut an American flag in half,
right,
to put half another flag on there.
Dirty communists.
It is sacrilegious to do that. Well, it's not sacrilegious, but you know what I'm saying.
Keep going. I'm still looking up Wilmer Valderrama.
Yeah, so I have no idea how Del Rio got in the situation that he's in. He's not very fun to watch. I don't think he's a good wrestler. He's obviously in wrestling just for the money. I feel like I talked about it a lot. Roman Reigns is going to win this match. I think this match is going to be probably the worst match on the card. I think even the 5-on-5 random face elimination match is going to be better than this.
Because it'll have New Day, so I mean,
yeah.
We'll get a trombone.
And Roman Reigns is going to be fired up. I feel like they're going to have They're going to have a spot where Roman's going to hurt his ankle or hurt his arm or something. They're going to need something for either Ambrose or Owens to target in the finals to just slow down Reigns a little bit. But ultimately, Reigns just squashes Del Rio in this match.
Wilmer Valderrama, you're right. He is from Venezuela.
Oh.
Good job. So, fun fact of the day, if you're ever on Jeopardy, Wilmer Valderrama from that 70s show is from Venezuela. Although he was born in Miami, so whatever.
6 of 1.
Yeah, as you guys know, once again, I don't like Alberto Del Rio. To me, he has fallen completely flat since coming out. Everyone was excited when he came out to face John Cena. And then it took about, I think people were still excited for him on Raw, but after that, it just seems like nobody cares about him anymore. And, I didn't care about him in the first place. So, Roman Reigns, I think, had the easiest path to this.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
well, he had Cesaro.
Well, except for
that
Cesaro,
was an
of course.
match.
They did a great job with making it look like Cesaro might win that, even though, let's be honest.
Cesaro was killing him for a while.
Sorry, the football game is on.
Devontae Freeman's out.
You got a helmet contact. That's not okay. But we're not going to talk about this game because it's not going the way I want it to. But things that are going to go the way I want them to. Alberto Del Rio is going to lose this match. And that's good. That makes me happy. Reigns is going to win, go on to the finals, and he will face the winner. As I keep burping up Dr. Pepper. The winner of Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. Once again, we will be butting heads on who we want to win. Kevin Owens. I don't know. It didn't really work the same way. I didn't bring any wrestling shirts with me. Yeah. So I think you and I have both said we think that whoever wins this match should win the title. I don't think it's going to happen. But apparently, I've been reading on the dirt sheets, even though you probably shouldn't read dirt sheets because they're stupid. That there's been a push this past week for a few people pushing for Dean Ambrose to win the title.
He should,
but those people I assume aren't Vince McMahon, so I don't think that matters a whole heck of a lot. And so This to me, other than Ziggler and Tyler Breeze, just could be one of the best pure wrestling matches of the night. Like it might steal the show. It's definitely going to be one of the best. I think this match, if they're going to do it where the like the final occurs right after that match, I think this match needs to go first. I think they need to have Roman Reigns tired from his first match, and he goes straight into the next match to make him a little more sympathetic with people. Although if you're not already, with Reigns, I don't think you're going to ever really get with Reigns, if you know what I mean.
If they do that, Reigns definitely wins the championship.
Yeah. And so this is going to be one heck of a match. And so I don't much I care who wins, but at the same time, I'm just going to enjoy the heck out of this match. And I think Dean Ambrose is going to get the win. That would mean that the U.S. champion and the Intercontinental champion lose on the same night, which doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot for those two titles after Super Cena lifted one of them up at least. But yeah, what do you got?
This should definitely be the match of the night.
I agree. I had an idea. Chips on my sandwich.
In the sandwich.
Man.
And we keep getting 2 viewers on and off. You guys should tweet us to let us know who it is, because I've been dying to know.
Yeah.
This should be the match of the night. Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens. I don't know. I mean, I think Ambrose will win. And here's the deal. Are you okay?
What?
Here's the thing about this. I said in our last show that Reigns needs to lose in the finals to have it be more realistic, like a Daniel Bryan thing where it keeps pushing it down. And this would be a great opportunity as like almost a loner for the next couple of months for Kevin Owens or Dean Ambrose, just for them to see, all right, how it fits on them, how it looks on them, how they act with it, how the crowd responds to it. We also haven't had a real heel hold the title. Sorry, a real face hold the title in a long time. So
who's Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins? I don't.
It's been over almost 2 years.
Super Cena.
Super Cena was the last one to do it. He was squashed by Brock. So I feel like the crowd would love if Ambrose was it. The place would go crazy. It'd be Ambrose Asylum all the time.
Hey, yeah, Michael Cole would be replaced with a fish tank. That's what I want.
and I feel like then it would really be one versus all with Roman Reigns, and that's what you need to get him over. You need that slogan to be legitimate, and right now it's Reigns and sometimes Ambrose versus all.
So you're saying Ambrose should win this match with Owens?
I would actually like to see more Kevin Owens hold the Intercontinental and the World Heavyweight.
Yeah, I'm getting you turned around. Let's go.
But I feel like Dean Ambrose is going to win this, and I think Dean Ambrose should win the whole thing. I think Ambrose should be like powerbombed off the apron by Owens, then go right into the next match, and Ambrose somehow just pull it out. And then we hope and pray to God that Sheamus keeps to himself.
I actually hope that Sheamus doesn't keep to himself. We'll get to that. So, yeah. So, our final match, if we're going off our predictions, will be Dean Ambrose against Roman Reigns.
Civil War.
Civil War. This is the start. Reigns is obviously a Captain America guy, and Ambrose is Tony Stark. So we're gonna see who wins. Except they kind of already did that with the whole Vaudevillains against Blake and Murphy thing at TakeOver Brooklyn when they wore one was wearing Captain America colors, the other guy, the Blake and Murphy were wearing Iron Man stuff. Good stuff. I thought it was a nice piece of business. But okay, question: the thing that everyone's talking about, heel turn, yes or no? If so, who is it?
If they do a heel turn, it's gonna be Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns is too much of a nice guy. Although his character would thrive under heel mode.
He would
thrive under heel mode.
Now, here's my bold prediction. Everyone's saying that there's going to be a heel turn. everyone's been saying that Dean Ambrose is going to turn heel for the past 6 months now. And guess what? It hasn't happened. So my prediction is there is no heel turn. You just have a babyface versus a babyface. These two guys clash and just go at each other and give it their all. And the better man is going to win.
Or you could do crazy prediction. Face turn Kevin Owens.
I don't know how that would work.
A loving, caring Kevin Owens comes out.
Yeah. But I think it's just going to be face versus face. These two guys go shake hands, and they're best friends. Loser buys the beer, winner buys the beer, whatever. Their whole shtick. I think they keep that because people have been saying that Ambrose is going to turn for so long, and they still haven't happened. I mean, it's going to happen eventually, yes, but I'm going to change it up. No, it doesn't happen. Roman Reigns wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think he should, but I still think it's going to happen. I think that was their plan all along. He was going to win it sooner rather than later. Now, here's my hopeful prediction, which I don't think is going to happen. And my thoughts on this are we have TLC as our next pay-per-view. Then it's Royal Rumble, Fastlane, and then WrestleMania. So there's 4 more pay-per-views until WrestleMania.
It's coming up fast.
It is coming up very fast. Fast lane. We're on the fast lane to WrestleMania. Okay, that's.
I still love Andy's prediction of how Fastlane. We need a pay-per-view name. Well, Stephanie got me a car last week. I drive fast lane. Let's go.
Yeah. And so, if you know the semantics, that's not really semantics, but I just want to use a big word, of how Money in the Bank works. Sheamus has until WrestleMania to cash in. It has to happen sometime within that time. And, it has to happen eventually because they're not just going to let the cash, not just going to let it go and oh, well, he didn't do it in time. That sucks for you. Although that would be hilarious. He goes to cash it in, and Triple H comes out like, "Hold on, man!"
Like the Monday after.
Yeah, like, did you read the contract? This is expired. That would be hilarious. But in all seriousness, Sheamus has to cash in.
R-Truth needs to win the next Money in the Bank. That needs to happen.
That would be perfect. But okay, so Sheamus is going to have to try to cash in sooner rather than later. He only has four pay-per-views and Raws. They're definitely not going to do it on SmackDown. Left to do it.
And you can't imagine he's going to headline WrestleMania.
Yeah. And so I think you'll agree with me. I don't want him to have the World Heavyweight title. I don't want him to have the Money in the Bank. So my hopeful prediction is that he will cash in tonight and fail. But I mean, even being realistic, I think he can be put in Triple H's back pocket. Roman Reigns wins. Triple H comes out and sends Sheamus out. Sheamus beats him up and wins the title. I don't want that to happen.
If he did, he wouldn't hold it past us.
I think TLC Reigns would win it back from him. I assume that would be the direction they would go. But I'm hoping, and all hoping, that Sheamus tries to cash in and fails and loses the contract, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Because really, that's the big monkey wrench in all of this stuff. So, yeah, I think if I'm pushed, who walks out as face, heel, champion, not champion? Reigns is still a face, walks out the champion. Ambrose is still a face, doesn't win, and then we move on. So I think that's about all we have for this one for our predictions, right? Do you have anything else to say on Survivor Series?
The only thing I have is with TLC being the next pay-per-view, Ambrose being a champion and an extreme title defense. That'd be amazing.
That could be cool.
Like Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose in a TLC match.
I don't know if Lesnar knows how to climb a ladder. I mean, they could do a deer stand instead. I'm sure he would do that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's deer season. So those are our show. Those are our predictions. Whoo! So that was rough. So once again, We will be doing another live reaction show
There will
tonight.
be another show tonight.
Right here from this chair and that chair.
Same positions.
Yeah.
Only more tired.
Yeah. And tired of wrestling at this point.
And we're going to have a lot more chips in our system.
Yeah. So that has been our show. Thank you guys for those of you who watched live. Thank you to everyone who was watching afterwards, not live. We know who you are. It's been Locker Talk, episode 31, our second lunch with Locker Talk. I hope you enjoyed our lunch. Yeah, there you go. It's still bad. These are huge sandwiches, by the way. Like,
it's over a foot long.
Like this, I have large fingers and hands. Like, this is half the sandwich. These are amazing for a $6 deal. It's great. So thank you for watching. This has been Locker Talk, episode 31. I am Koltyn. That is Matt. We will see you next time.